Audio Jungle.
The International Press Council of Nigeria is making a passionate appeal to law enforcement agencies to beef up its operation to guarantee the safety of journalists before and during the upcoming 2023 general election in the country. Speaking at a stakeholders roundtable on monitoring reports of media coverage of 2023 elections and revised Nigeria Media Code of Election Coverage in Abuja, the Executive Director of the International Press Council of Nigeria, Larry Arugudade, said there is a need for proactiveness across all stakeholders to avoid repeated incidents, thus urging the operatives designated for election duties to respect the identification of accredited journalists to achieve free, fair and credible polls. The International Press Council has been committed to ensuring accuracy and objectivity in election reportage from inception. According to Lanre, the Council has monitored closely media houses that violate the code of reportage. Hence, rewarding the non-violators is vital to enhance dedication and commitment to election coverage.
Draw the attention of INEC, government, particularly the security agencies, and the political parties to their own responsibilities if they want us to cover these elections effectively. For example, it would be wrong for any political party or candidate to deny any one of us access to their public events, because the Nigerian Media Code of Election Coverage says they should give us free access. Where some of them believe that we are not doing what is right, what we are saying is make use of the regulatory mechanisms to lodge your complaints, but not go after individual journalists, who are on the field. That is very, very important. We have also conveyed this, gathering in order for us to talk about our own protection, about our own safety as individual, journalists, because we have some rights which we don't exercise. If you are being asked to go and cover election in an area where there's likely to be outbreak of violence, even if there may be no violence, as individual journalists, we have the right to demand insurance cover from our employers, because anything can happen. We have what we call, risk factors in the coverage of elections. So it is our right. It's also our right to check our health status. Don't say because, you are looking good, you are okay. Make sure you see your physician before you go out of the field. And if your physician says you need a rest, tell your editor and demand, for such, a rest. Sometimes violence breaks out during campaigns, but many of us, we want to capture it. We're so eager, but we're saying that, look, be very, very careful. You have to maintain your distance from mobs, because we don't want anything to happen to us. The unfortunate thing is that if you go out on the field to campaign and something happens to you, it won't stop your news medium from publishing the story the next day. Perhaps all you might get in the newsroom is 1 minute silence. The story will still go on. So we are really, really concerned about the safety of journalists. But beyond our individual self, we are making appeal to the law enforcement and security agencies. What happened in 2019 should not repeat itself. If a journalist is accredited and is able to show evidence of accreditation, and in addition to that, the identity card of his or organization, or that of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, or that of the Guild of Editors, any policeman or soldier on election duty should know that that journalist is not a busybody and therefore should not be molested in any way. So this appeal is very, very important.
Scholar, I use facts to defend myself. Based on this report, we have done well, but we can do better, and that's why we're here. Because when you look at that, they did say we didn't have hate in the period, during the period study. That's October and November last year. There was no hate in them. So if we can do that, we'll reduce conflicts. So it means we've been very conflict sensitive in our reportage, and I want us to keep that up, because we need to have national cohesion. We need peace for us to have credible election, and that is part of our contribution to national development.
The event, a revised Nigerian Media Code of Election Coverage, was also presented, even as it reeled out some challenges and called on ethics and professionalism facing journalists in the country. Vincent Okushi, QTV News, Abuja.
Audio Jungle.